Today marks a pivotal moment in your journey into medicine, the white coat ceremony.
I extend my warmest welcome to all family and friends and significant others, everybody who's joined us here today for this special celebration.
We collect some of the best, most committed scholars in the world, our faculty and staff, and we bring them together with the collective wisdom of hundreds of thousands of years of humanity to impart that into the next generation who is talented and eager to carry on that work to make the world a better place.
This is the next step in a medical student's career path for them to become physicians.
You're a part of a special community. You're not in it alone. All of us who wear this white coat are in this with you.
The white coat is not a privilege, it imparts responsibility. It imparts responsibility to maintain patient confidentiality, to put the patient above everything else, and to do the very best to care for their patients.
I challenge you to think about how caring for patients, connecting with them as people, and serving within our system will help you to become great doctors.
You matter, and you are an important part of the clinical team.
It's really exciting to be getting our white coats, making that step to going to clerkship and getting to actually see patients, put all of the knowledge that we spent so much time learning. So it's really cool.
Now it's just like, ooh, I'm super excited. I don't know, I feel like I'll just not really understand until someone spills on it. There's a little blood or whatever.
Medicine was always something I wanted to do. The school here allowed me to grow as a person and also show my difference. It's a very diverse school.
I am a first-generation immigrant. Donning this today really just represents all that hard work.
I've been looking forward to this day since I was in high school. I had always wanted to be a physician, to advocate for those who may not have the resources to seek medical help. And I knew that I had always wanted to stay in Las Vegas for my medical training. My goal is to become a physician and to hopefully prevent serious complications in the Las Vegas community.
At the end of the day, it's a garment. What gives it meaning is you, the people who wear this. It's the meaning that you bring every day to the profession, to your interaction with others, with patients, with your colleagues, with your future students.
I hope that when you put on your white coat, ready for your first day of clerkship, that you will wear it with confidence, knowing that your training, resilience, and dedication have prepared you well to take the next steps. In your white coat, with your school fully supporting you, representing your family with humility, and your pockets filled with items to share, I wish you all the best for what lies ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Ann Diggins. I'm the Assistant Dean for Student Affairs, and I want to send my warmest welcome to everybody who's joining us today for the Class of 2027 White Coat Ceremony. Thank you so much for being here. If I could ask everybody to please rise for our national anthem. Our national anthem is being performed today by our student vocalist, Christina Dantum, who's a member of the Class of 2027, accompanied on the piano by Aaron Peterson from the Class of 2026. Thank you. I've been doing this a long time, and I continue to be in awe of our medical students who just are so high achieving academically and so full of compassion, and then have these other wonderful talents. Thank you, Aaron and Christina, for sharing this with your classmates and everyone here today. Today's ceremony marks, students, you may sit down. Today's ceremony marks a significant milestone for the Class of 2027, their transition into full-time clinical training, which will begin on Monday, as I'm sure you all know in the audience. As they don their white coats today, presented by their clinical faculty, these students will be formally welcomed into the profession of medicine. The next phase of their education will have them working alongside faculty and residents in our clinic hospitals and partner clinics and partner hospitals. We are honored today to be joined in this celebration from leaders both from UNLV and from the medical school, and it is my distinct honor to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Mark J. Kahn, Dean of the Kirk Kerkorian School of Medicine and Vice President of Health Affairs at UNLV. Dean Kahn is a nationally recognized educator, physician, and leader. He was a summa cum laude graduate at the University of Pennsylvania, where he completed all of his medical training, including a fellowship in hematology and oncology. He spent over 2 decades at Tulane University in New Orleans, where he served in many leadership roles, including as the Senior Associate Dean for Student Affairs and Admissions. He earned multiple teaching awards during his tenure there as well. He has held national positions in the American Association of Medical Colleges, the American College of Physicians, and the National Residency Matching Program. In 2019, he was elected a fellow at the Royal College of Physicians in London, an honor that very few United States-trained physicians are granted. Since joining UNLV in 2020, Dean Kahn has brought transformative leadership to our school, to the medical community, and to the university. Please join me in welcoming Dean Kahn.
It's a very kind introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to start by acknowledging my colleagues and special guests who are seated on stage. I'm going to ask each of them to raise their hands as their names are called, but let's hold all of our applause to the end. First row, Dr. Kirk Kerkorian, UNLV Executive Vice President and Provost. Dr. Robert Hernandez, Vice Dean for Academic Affairs and Education. Ms. Ann Diggins, who you've already met, Assistant Dean for Student Affairs and Career Services and today's Master of Ceremonies. Dr. Mary Froelich, our keynote speaker and Chief Resident, Department of Surgery. Dr. Gary Shen, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Medical Education and the leader of the Student Processional. Ms. Emily Ames, President of the Class of 2026 and today's student speaker. Dr. Aditi Singh, Associate Professor, Internal Medicine, who will lead the students in their Physician's Pledge. Dr. Kate Martin, Associate Dean for Graduate Medical Education, and Dr. Allison Netsky, Vice Dean for Clinical Affairs. In the next row, Dr. Jocelyn Burke, Clerkship Director in Surgery, Dr. Cassandra Coletta, Clerkship Director for OB-GYN, Dr. Yontan Giwot, Clerkship Director, Internal Medicine, Dr. Mason Janke, Clerkship Director in Psychiatry, Dr. Myra Jones-Betancourt, Clerkship Director for Pediatrics, Dr. Aaron Rogers, Clerkship Director for Family Medicine, Dr. Nazia Khan, Assistant Dean for Clinical Education, Dr. Larry Alexander, Assistant Dean for Biomedical Sciences, and Dr. Irma Corral, Associate Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. In row 3, we have Ms. Joanne Strobe, Executive Associate Dean and for Finance and Administration and CEO of our practice plan, Mr. Ron Bates, CFO, Dr. Buddha Dawn, Chair, Department of Internal Medicine, Mr. Peter Navarro, Associate Dean for HR, Dr. Mark Guadagnoli, Senior Associate Dean, for Faculty Affairs, Dr. Aftad Merchant, Assistant Dean for Anatomical Sciences, Dr. Deborah Cools, Associate Dean for Research, and Ms. Mariana Sarmiento, Chief of Staff. Let's have a round of applause for those people. I would now like to recognize friends of UNLV in the School of Medicine who are attending today's ceremony. We're also joined today by faculty and leaders from the medical school. Thank you, folks, for being here and for your unwavering support of our students. I invite all faculty to please stand to be recognized. Thank you. We'd like to take a moment to thank them for the vital role that they've played in preparing these students for clinical training. Your dedication to teaching and mentorship is deeply appreciated by both the school and the students you serve. So now it's my time to say a few words, and I just want to say, man, am I jealous. I am really jealous. It was 1985 when I was in your shoes. I don't mean to date myself. But I remember how excited I was. Who's excited? Who's scared? Who's nervous? Yeah, all those things, right? And I remember thinking, boy, what am I going to do, right? So who's starting in internal medicine? Yeah, I did that too, and I did an internal medicine residency and chief residency, and I remember I'm assigned to a resident who was this brilliant woman. And she's my intern, actually. There was a resident, too. Those people, they were so far ahead of me, I didn't even think. But I was assigned to an intern, and somebody told me you have to show that you're enthusiastic. So, I'm trying to do things, and I'm gathering data, and I'm following her around. And the next thing I know is I'm following her around. She went right to the ladies' room, right? So I didn't follow her, but I tried to show enthusiasm. And then I had a leg up on some people because I had been a phlebotomist in college, so I knew how to draw blood. You guys don't do much of that anymore, but in our day, Dr. Hernandez will tell you, we drew an awful lot of blood. You drew a lot in Charity Hospital, and we did a lot where I was too, and it was sort of the medical students They called it scut work, but really it was important for us to grow, to learn how to take care of students or how to take care of patients, and how to become part of medical teams in the profession. And you know, there was a person and they needed blood drawn and they said, well, you guys are brand new. And I said, wait a second, I was a phlebotomist. I got this. So I went and I drew the blood from this patient and it was perfect. You know, I got the blood in the tube and I got it on first stick and I got to teach some classmates and everyone's like, man, we got to worry about this guy. And then what you do is you took the tubes and you put a label on them and you put them in these big envelopes back in Hospital University of Pennsylvania. And then you stamped with the patient's plate the name and their information on this envelope. So I get these tubes, I put them in the envelope and I seal it and I go to stamp it and it went right across the tubes. And now I have an envelope with broken glass and blood and a mess. So I just want to tell you, you do these things, but you still turn out okay, right? You do these things. So I want you to learn from your patients. You learn an incredible amount from them. And I used to always read about their diseases, but I'd talk to them to try to find out what was going on. And I remember I had a patient on my surgery rotation who had biliary colic, and for the non-medical folks, that's that they have typically gallstones and they can have a blockage or partial blockage of a duct and they get pain, and the pain sort of is described as crescendo decrescendo, which means it starts low and then peaks and then calms down again, and that's just classic for that type of pain. But I wanted to hear from the patient and I said, so what does this feel like? And the patient said, it feels like a big thud. Now, I don't know what that means, but every patient I saw with biliary colic after that, I thought about a big thud, and I'm here to tell you about that now. The other thing you learn on the sadder side is you learn about human resilience. Patients with terrible diagnoses and terrible social circumstances. And you learn about the resilience of our species and how we're able to adapt and cope with things that may seem incomprehensible. You're going to see patients die. You're going to feel their pain. It's okay to be emotional. We remember those, especially those intense moments, for the rest of our lives. But the one brief phrase, although it's somewhat corny, but I just want to make sure I leave it with you, is the secret of good patient care is to care for the patient. Learn from them, take care of them, learn about their families, and be the very, very best care providers that you can. For the class of 2027, I'm envious. Good luck and Godspeed. Thank you. Oh, yes. Aha. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce someone I've known for past 5 years. Kate, I've been here 5 years next week. Kate Corrigan, PhD. Dr. Kate Corrigan is a faculty member in the Department of Sociology. Dr. Corrigan is known for her teaching and research on gender, sexuality, technology, and policy. Over the past 3 decades, she has held key leadership roles at UNLV, including Dean of the Graduate College, Vice Provost for Graduate Education, and now the Interim Senior Vice Provost for Academic Affairs. During this leadership transition, she is also serving as officer in charge, of the Executive Vice President and Provost's office. So for all intents and purposes, right now, Dr. Corrigan is our provost. Dr. Corrigan is a champion of diversity, equity, innovation, and student success. She's committed to collaboration, data-informed decisions, and servant leadership. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Corrigan for today's talk.
Thank you so much, Dean Kahn. Hello, how are you all? It's a great day, isn't it? So it is a true pleasure and honor to be with you today to celebrate this defining moment in your medical school journey. So class of 2027, kudos for this accomplishment. Today, you will don your white coats not just as students, but as emerging clinicians, stepping into a new phase of your education and training. You've worked so hard to get here, and this ceremony marks such an important milestone. Your transition from the classroom to the clinic, from theory to practice, from simulation to true patient care. It is both a symbolic and deeply personal moment, one that recognizes your growth, your persistence, and your readiness to take on the very weighty responsibilities of becoming a physician. So among the 68 students today will receive white coats. And notably, you 68 are the first cohort to be part of our Learning Community program here at the medical school. And this is a program that will support and guide you, not just through your preclinical years, but now as you enter clinics and hospitals. The program is designed to provide you with continuity, mentorship, and belonging, elements that become even more essential as the pace quickens and the stakes rise in your clinical training. The white coat you wear today, it represents knowledge, but also humility, empathy, and responsibility. Your patients will look to you not only for answers, they will look to you for calm and care, for advocacy, kindness, and empathy. This coat signifies the trust your patients will place in you, the commitment you make to their well-being, and the high standards you will uphold as a member of this lofty profession. Now, to the families and friends and loved ones here today, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is your unwavering support that has made this moment possible for these 68 students, and your encouragement will continue to sustain these students through the journey that they still have ahead. Now, to the class of 2027, wear your white coats with pride and with purpose and with compassion. You are the future of medicine, and we are so very proud to see you advance today. And there will be moments of joy and of hardship. You will witness suffering and healing and happiness, and through it all, you will rise because you have prepared for this, because you have the heart for this, and because you have a community that believes in you. As you make this big step forward, know that you do not walk this path alone, that your Rebel family will be here cheering you on every step of the way. So congratulations, class of 2027, on your white coat ceremony.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to introduce today's keynote speaker, Dr. Mary Froelich. Each year, the keynote speaker at this event is chosen from those who are recognized by the graduating class for their outstanding contributions to medical education. This year's keynote speaker, Dr. Mary Froelich, was selected as the outstanding resident teacher by the class of 2024. Dr. Froelich is the chief resident in the Department of Surgery. She earned her medical degree at the University of Nevada-Reno School of Medicine and matched in general surgery at the now Kirk Kerkorian School of Medicine at UNLV. The leadership of the Department of Surgery believes that Dr. Froelich is an example of what you can become when you work hard and you excel in all areas of your education. Dr. Froelich recently became our first surgical resident to be accepted directly into a highly competitive specialty of pediatric surgery. Residents play a vital role in the education of our students, serving as teachers, mentors, and role models on the front lines of patient care. Every physician here today, whether in the audience or on stage, can recall a resident who profoundly shaped their clinical training and identity as a physician. Dr. Froelich is one of these residents, exceptional in her dedication to both her patients and our students. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Mary Froelich.
Good afternoon. So first, let me say what an absolute honor it is to be here and speak with you today. To the faculty and organizers, thank you so much for the invitation to be part of this meaningful day and speak. As mentioned earlier, I'm in my 5th and final year of general surgery residency. When I was asked to speak, I got so excited thinking of all of the advice that I wanted to give you guys. I feel like I occupy this unique space between you and the wise, seasoned attendings who have mentored so many of us. I remember being in your position because I was in your position not that long ago. I attended medical school, as mentioned, at the University of Nevada-Reno, and was part of the last group of students who came down here to do their 3rd and 4th year clinical rotations. So when I say I know what it means to sit in these seats and take this next step, I really, really mean it, because I've been exactly where you are today. I remember starting my clinical rotations at UMC, learning all the quirky nuances of the building, figuring out what to do during a trauma activation, and wandering the halls until I finally found the nurse or the supply closet that I needed. I remember the feeling of gradually getting my bearings and of starting to feel like I belonged. Just like many of you, I'm from Las Vegas. I grew up here and feel a deep pull to serve this community, to take care of the people who I grew up with, the families I know and the neighbors who shaped me. That's why today, seeing all of you start this journey, it feels so special. Today marks more than just the transition from classroom learning to clinical rotations. It's not just about putting on the white coat. It's about stepping into a new focus. Up until now, medicine has been something that you've studied. You've memorized anatomy, physiology, and pathology. You've filled your brain with mechanisms of action and rare diagnoses. But starting now, your purpose and your actions will shift. You'll move from theoretical cases on paper to real people with real lives. You'll no longer be learning about diseases in isolation. You'll be meeting the people who have them. That is why today is so significant. Because while you'll be spending the coming years refining your clinical skills and expanding your medical knowledge, you'll also be cultivating something just as important, your identity as a physician. As you step into this next chapter, I want to share a piece of advice that profoundly shaped my own clinical training. It came from one of my mentors who called it the click. At some point during your rotations, you will experience this click. It may be gradual or happen all at once, but it's the moment when you stop doing things simply because you're supposed to, and you start doing them because it's the right thing to do. During your first 2 years of medical school, so much of your experience was structured. You were told what to study, where to be, and how to prepare. But clinical rotations will be different. Here is where you will have the chance to evolve, not just as a student, but as a physician. So I encourage you, let your focus shift towards doing what is best because you care. When you stay late, don't do it because you think I'll be impressed with your initiative. Do it because you take responsibility for your patient. Stay because you want to make sure that they do well. When you follow up on a lab result, don't do it because you're aiming for bonus points. Do it because you're genuinely trying to figure out what's going on. And when you read the literature, don't do it to sound knowledgeable on rounds. Do it because you're curious about the updated treatments, because you want to provide the best possible care for your patient. When this click happens, you'll feel a deeper connection to the profession. Patients will feel it. Nurses, residents, attendings will notice it. And you'll carry that sense of purpose long after your rotations end. Medicine is an extraordinary career. The experiences you have will shape you, challenge you, and stay with you forever. You will be there for moments of pure joy, like being one of 4 people in the room when a new life enters the world. You'll witness the awe on a new parent's face as they hold their child for the very first time. You will be there for moments of triumph. You will be the one who delivers the life-changing news that someone is cancer-free. You will feel the weight of their relief and the warmth of their gratitude. But you will also be present for heartbreaking moments, the ones that will stay with you long after you leave the hospital. You will sit with grieving families as they receive devastating news. You will watch as a mother clutches her chest, overcome with sorrow after learning that her child was lost to gun violence. You will see patients in their most vulnerable states, and for many of us, these won't just be strangers. We are training in our own community. The people we care for will be our neighbors and our family's friends. I remember my very first month of residency. A trauma patient came in with severe burns, and when I looked at their name, I realized it was someone who I knew from high school. That was the first moment I truly understood what it meant to serve my community. These aren't just patients in a hospital bed. They're the people who we grew up with, the families that we know, the friends we never expected to see in these circumstances. And we get to be the ones to take care of them, and that is a privilege. I want to remind you that while medicine is grounded in science, it is practiced in the human experience. You will become excellent at interpreting lab results and identifying clinical signs. But don't let those skills overshadow the person behind the diagnosis. The patient you are rounding on at 5 a.m. may be someone's entire world, a mother, a partner, a best friend. When you enter their room, you are stepping into one of the most vulnerable and significant chapters in their life, and treat that privilege with reverence. As you step into this next chapter, I encourage you to dive in fully. Approach each rotation with curiosity and an open mind. Even if you're convinced you'll never become an OBGYN or a radiologist, give yourself a chance to explore each field with fresh eyes. Try on different specialties. Picture yourself as a pediatrician, talking to families and reassuring nervous kids. Imagine what it would feel like to be an ER doctor, triaging patients in a fast-paced, high-stakes environment. Let yourself dream a little and envision the impact you could have in each of these roles. Lastly, I hope you know this. You are not doing this alone. You are surrounded by faculty, residents, nurses, physical therapists, case managers, so many people who are all rooting for you. We are excited to work with you, and we want you to succeed. We want you to grow, and we want you to find your place in this vast and beautiful profession. I hope you know how far you have come and that you are proud of yourselves. So as you put on your white coat today, remember that it symbolizes both responsibility and privilege. Let it be a promise that you will listen closely to your patients, to treat them with dignity and to remain compassionate, even when you are tired, even when you are overwhelmed. And as you walk into this new phase, watch for that click. When it happens, embrace it, because that's when medicine truly becomes more than a career, it becomes a calling. Congratulations again. I am so excited to see the physicians you will become.
I think you can see why the seniors chose Dr. Froelich to receive the Outstanding Resident Teacher of the Year. Thank you so much for sharing those inspiring remarks with our students. I'm honored to now introduce our student speaker, Emily Ames, the class president for the class of 2026. It is our tradition here to invite the class president from the class that just completed clerkships to share their earned wisdom with the students who will be starting clerkships. Emily came to medical school with a diverse academic background, having completed her undergraduate work in finance at the University of Notre Dame, followed by post-baccalaureate work at both Columbia University and the University of Nevada, Reno. A former Division I athlete on Notre Dame's varsity rowing team, she continues to lead with drive and discipline. I suspect sometimes the rowing is great leadership training for trying to lead her class of medical students. In school, she serves as her president, but also is actively involved with accreditation and the dermatology and dermatological surgery group. Her commitment for service is evident through her long-term involvement as a mentor for the high school students in the Mojave Mentor Program at the School of Medicine. Please join me in welcoming Emily Ames.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm honored to have the opportunity to speak at the White Coat ceremony today. I just want to start by saying congratulations to all of you. Getting to this point really isn't easy, and I hope you take a moment to really let it sink in. You've made it through so many things so far. You made it through your anatomy lab, a lot of lectures, step one, and maybe even a couple minor breakdowns along the way. And now you're about to step into one of the most intense and unpredictable but most meaningful parts of medical school, your third year. When I was in your shoes only a short year ago, I was excited to be finally done with all of the preclinical lectures and start doing what I imagined when I pictured myself coming to medical school. But I was also really nervous. I had a lot of doubts about what I would say to patients, and since my surgery rotation was first, I had a lot of worries about being pimped on anatomy in the OR, which is my worst subject ever, and a very irrational fear about not knowing how to scrub in properly. But the truth is, no one expects you to know everything, and all they really expect you to do is care. If you show up with curiosity, humility, and a willingness to try, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to. There is a Ted Lasso quote that I really like that I'll share with you today. Taking on a challenge is a lot like riding a horse. If you're comfortable while you're doing it, you're probably doing it wrong. And honestly, that's what third year is about. It won't always feel comfortable, and that's okay. It just means you're learning. And if you need a quick pick-me-up, I highly recommend watching a Ted Lasso episode. For me, third year was really, really hard, but it's also when I started to feel like I was becoming the kind of doctor I wanted to be. It wasn't about trying to have perfect presentations or perfect notes or actually being able to answer a PIMP question. It was in the smaller moments that stuck out to me when I would reflect at the end of the day. I remember a patient on family medicine who had come in for a complaint of daily headaches for 25 years. And I said something simple like, that must be very hard to live with every day. And when I went to leave the room, she stopped me to thank me and teared up and said that I was the first person that had acknowledged what she'd been going through. That moment didn't take any medical brilliance or really anything that I'd learned thus far in medical school. It just required a little bit of empathy. That really showed me the importance of just listening and showing support to our patients. I'll also never forget a man I met during my surgery rotation. He had metastatic melanoma, and when we came to check on him and asked about pain meds or follow-up with wound care, he said no to everything. He just wanted to go home and be with his family. That experience made me realize that sometimes our job isn't helping with doing more, but rather honoring what our patients' priorities are and helping them as best as we can. Throughout this year, you might hold hands with patients in pre-op, maybe be the first person they confide in because you're the one who took the time to listen. You might be the one that catches an important detail, not because you're the smartest person in the room or because you know the most, but because you'll be present. Some of the most meaningful moments will surprise you. This year will challenge you, but you will grow tremendously, and you will strengthen your friendships along the way. I have no doubt that you will all do great, and the year will fly by, and you'll be one step closer to becoming the doctors that you're meant to be. To wrap this up, here are just my quick words of advice. Ask questions even when you think they're stupid. Just maybe wait until the resident or attending isn't rushing or you're in the middle of rounds. If you're unsure how to help, start by listening and looking around the room. Keep your stethoscope with you at all times because attendings actually tend to forget theirs a lot. If you drop your entire lunch like me on the floor trying to eat too fast between surgeries, just laugh it off, but always make sure you keep a protein bar in your pocket for a backup. If you're someone also like me prone to passing out, and even if you don't think you are, just eat breakfast, even if it's 4:30 a.m., especially if you're on your OB rotation. Get some comfortable shoes. UMC might start to feel a little bit more comfortable and homey to you, but there's still very few chairs, so you really won't be sitting down a whole lot. Always say good morning to the nurses before you ask them about overnight events, and be kind to everyone that you meet. Have a good attitude and the mindset that you can learn from everyone. You're not here to be perfect. You're just here to learn, to listen, and to grow into someone who patients can trust. The white coat symbolizes your commitment not just to medicine, but to compassion, to presence, and to showing up even when you're unsure. It's not a sign that you know everything, but a promise that you'll try your best to understand and serve the people in front of you. I was reminiscing about Harry Potter given the theme of our school's match this year, and J.K. Rowling once said, "We do not need magic to transform our world. We carry all the power we need inside ourselves already." You are ready for this, even if you might not feel like it right now. So wear your white coat proudly. It's not just a symbol of what you've already accomplished so far, which is a lot, but a promise of what you're going to do. Congratulations again, class of 2027. You've got this, and I can't wait to hear all the great things you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Once again, I'm Dr. Robert Hernandez. I have the honor of serving as the Vice Dean for Academic Affairs and Education here at the Kirk Kerkorian School of Medicine. And along with the faculty, we have the responsibility of ensuring that these young people right here, these wonderful people, graduate from the School of Medicine with the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and behaviors necessary to practice outstanding medicine, and they are certainly on the way. Esteemed faculty and colleagues, special guests, proud families and friends, and future physicians sitting here today, good afternoon, and congratulations to everyone, because pretty much everyone in this room has played a role in helping these future physicians get to the place where they are today. I'd like to thank Dean Diggins for inviting me to speak with you about the significance of the white coat. Please excuse me for a moment. Here I stand before you, a man, nothing more, nothing less. If we passed each other in public, you probably wouldn't even take notice of me. If you did, you'd probably notice what I'm wearing: a white shirt, a tie, slacks, and dress shoes. You may think to yourself, oh, maybe he's an office manager, maybe he is a teacher or an accountant, an attorney. You might not think anything at all. I could be on my way to work, I could be on my way to church, I could be on my way to a date. If you saw me dressed like this in a grocery store, you might ask me where to find the bacon bits. That's happened to me before. But it's probably likely you wouldn't think much. As a stranger, you certainly wouldn't expect anything from me. You wouldn't expect to share a special relationship with me. And it's unlikely that you would assume that I had any obligations or responsibilities to act towards you in any way. Excuse me again. What's changed? Am I not the same man I was just a couple of seconds ago? Of course I am. But things have changed, right? Donning this white coat changes everything. When you see me wearing this symbol, your view of me changes entirely. You now assume certain things: that I've attained a high degree of education, that hopefully I'm dedicated and hardworking, that I'm knowledgeable and skillful in the healing arts. You also expect me to act and behave in certain ways, no matter the circumstance. I should comport myself with honesty and integrity, duty, compassion, and empathy. That should the need arise, I would respond to you without hesitation and with no consideration of your identity or your position in society. Certainly you would believe that if you or your loved one had an acute medical need, that I would devote everything that I am and everything on me to help you in that moment. You see, symbols are powerful. As humans, we respond to symbols in myriad ways. If you pay attention, we're surrounded by symbols. They tell us where to go and where to stop. They show us where we're welcome and where we're not. Symbols can convey purpose: where to eat, where to shop, where to find entertainment, where to seek refuge. They can put us at ease, or they can make us feel very uneasy. They can invoke powerful feelings in us, feelings of patriotism, bravery, respect, love, admiration, and belonging. Symbols can also do the opposite. They can invoke feelings of hatred, despair, loathing, and separation. Symbols can help us navigate the mundane, or they can help us think about the greater mysteries, including the meaning of life itself. So what about this symbol, this white coat that I just put back on, this thing that we came together today to celebrate? Why have you worked so hard to attain it, And what will it mean to you when the faculty place it on you this afternoon? As with most symbols, this one has an interesting history, and unfortunately the class knows I love history, so I'm going to delve into it just for a moment. Please indulge me. Before the late 1800s, physicians did not wear white coats. Quite the opposite, physicians in Western medicine tended to wear dark clothing, indicating the solemn nature of their business. For much of history, medicine was dangerous, imprecise, and messy. Before the development of anesthesia, surgical procedures were performed as quickly as possible while patients writhed in pain. Body fluid splattered everywhere. Dark clothing helped hide the mess. In fact, some physicians and surgeons wore their filthy robes as a badge of honor. Some felt that cleanliness was a sign of idleness, while a stiff, dirty cloak was a sign of clinical excellence. Students, quick aside, please wash your coats from time to time. If you take it off and it's stiff and standing on its own, it needs a good washing, so. All right, back to my story. So in the late 1800s, the concept of antisepsis took hold. Physicians discovered that washing hands and sanitizing instruments reduced postoperative morbidity and mortality. As physicians slowly adapted sanitary practices, they began to realize that there were some benefits to changing the color of their clothing, hence the white coat. At that time, scientists who worked in labs tended to wear white coats. Truth be told, there probably wasn't any special meaning to it. First, white was actually the cheapest fabric of the time. Dyes were expensive, so if the white coat had a color to it, it cost money. Second, it's easy to spot stains on a white coat, so you know that the coat needs to be cleaned, right, if it's stained. Third, it stood up to washing, right? Bleaching and washing a white coat, it stands up. If you make it a certain color, it'll fade. So physicians probably adopted the white coat more out of practicality than assuming any meaning. Perhaps it was an added benefit that people associated white coats with scientific rigor, purity, and cleanliness, which was something that medicine sought to embrace. Over time, the white coat has come to symbolize more. Not because the white coat imparted any special powers to us, but rather because the wearers of the white coat imbued it with special meaning. Students, the practitioners of the art who precede you are entrusting you with the powerful symbol today. That symbol that has come to represent the most special gifts that any human being can offer another human being. When you don this white coat, you make a promise to society and to your patients. You promise to act with honor, with integrity, with dutifulness and compassion, with altruism, respect, and excellence. You promise to treat your patient with dignity, to listen to their concerns with empathy, and to uphold the sacred trust and confidence that has been placed in you. Yes, the white coat symbolizes your achievement, and you should be honored to wear it. More so, it serves as a constant reminder to you of the responsibilities that you assume, to uphold the highest standards of the profession, to provide the best possible care to every patient, and to continually expand your knowledge and skills. Medicine is constantly changing, and you have to change with it. Otherwise, you just fall behind. As you don your white coats today, remember that respect and trust are not given with the garment. They're earned through every patient interaction, every diagnosis, and every treatment that you will provide. You are entering a field where the stakes are incredibly high, but the rewards of service, healing, and the impact are even higher. In closing, I hope this white coat is a source of inspiration to you. Let it remind you why you chose this path to medicine, to make a difference, to heal, and to improve the lives of others. And please, protect the legacy of this special garment. Treat it with respect. Keep it clean. Be careful what other symbols you associate with it. Wear it with humility and a commitment to the high standards of the noble profession you're about to enter. In this way, when it's your turn to give this gift, this symbol, to the generation that follows you, you can do so with pride. And they will have that same feeling that you guys have today as you receive that white coat. So keep it safe. Congratulations on reaching the significant milestone, and best wishes you as you embark on this next stage of your medical education. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hernandez. Class of 2027, we've arrived at the highlight of today's ceremony. It's time for you to be coded by your clinical faculty and welcomed formally into your clinical training. I now would like to ask Dean Kahn, Dr. Horgan, and Dr. Hernandez to take their places on the stage. I would like to invite our faculty coders. Our first one is Dr. Burke. Dr. Burke is the clerkship director for the Department of Surgery, and she will be coding students in our first row. Row 1, please rise. As I say your name, please walk forward. Joseph Aharoni. Emily Honor. Romina Amjad. Chase Baker. Haley Baker. David Basulto Rubio. Ann Beck. John Beckerly. Jay Bitsoy. Miriam Borbeck. Our next coder, Dr. Coletta, is the clerkship director for the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology and will code students in row 2. William Chan. Madeline Colbert. Kendra Coleman. Christian Corral. Christina Dantum. Brett Dixon. Eileen Enriquez. Marianne Estrada. Jacqueline Fields. Tina Fung. Thank you. Our next coder will be Dr. Giwat, who serves as the clerkship director for the Department of Internal Medicine, and he'll be coding students in row 3. Jackie Gamboa. Nabi Ghani. Irene Garibian. Alex Gonzalez. Ivan Gonzalez Corral. Al Gurrier Jr. John Hatch. Paige Hewitt. Michael Hickson. Harrison Hunter. Our next coder is Dr. Mason Jonke, who serves as the clerkship director for the Department of Psychiatry, and he'll be coding students in row 4. Colin Jablonski. Ryan Janud. Alexandra Gianu. Sharon Joseph. Sarah Kazamani. Brian Curlin. Nicholas Kolch. Lexi Lee. Christine Lee. Sijia Lee. Thank you. Our next coder is Dr. Jones Betancourt, who serves as the clerkship director in the Department of Pediatrics, and she'll be coding students in row 5. Citlali Lopez Flores. Janine Masri. Sierra Mahalani McCarty. Larissa McNeil. Gwen Metcalf. Samrawit Amara Misukar. Janetzi Mota Gutierrez. Hamed Nadim Tariq. Jason Olcott. Megan Sherman Olcott. Thank you. Our next coder will be Dr. Rogers, who serves as the clerkship director for the Department of Family Medicine. He'll be coding students in row 6. Guang Arestes. Benjamin Paul. John Russell Lopez Raffanan. James Romero. John Andre Sabio. Peyton Sakalaris. Sarah Sachs. Ryan Shee. Eduardo Soto. Nikos Staffa. Thank you, Dr. Rogers. Our next coder will be Dr. Nazia Khan, who serves as the Assistant Dean over Clinical Education. She'll be coding students in our final row. Lois Suh. Krista Talamonte. Megan Talamonte. Stephen David Vietz. Alex Wooster. Alexandra Whoopio. Karina Nazabria. If I could ask the class of 2027 to please stand. I present the class of 2027, family and friends. Class, please remain standing. I now invite Dr. Aditi Singh to the podium. Dr. Singh is an associate professor and program director in internal medicine. She is also the founding advisor for the Gold Humanism Honor Society, and she will be leading our students in their physician pledge, which you will find in the back of your programs. Dr. Singh.
I'd like to invite any of the faculty who are interested in also saying the physician pledge to please stand. As Dean Diggins mentioned, the pledge is in the program. Students, please recite the pledge along with me. As a member of the medical profession, pledge to dedicate my life to the service of humanity. The health and well-being of my patient will be my first consideration. I will respect the autonomy and dignity of my patient. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will not permit considerations of age, disease or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will respect the secrets that are confided in me, even after the patient has died. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity and in accordance with good medical practice. I will foster the honor and noble traditions of the medical profession. I will give to my teachers, colleagues, and students the respect and gratitude that is their due. I will share my medical knowledge for the benefit of the patient and the advancement of healthcare. I will attend to my own health, well-being, and abilities in order to provide care of the highest standard. I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Congratulations, class of 2027.
Students, you may now be seated. Class of 2027, wear your white coats with pride and a deep understanding of what they mean to your communities, to your families, and to each other, and most of all to your future patients that you'll begin seeing on Monday. Today, you've learned what a valued member of the clinical team you are, and you've earned this coat. And you will continue to earn it, I know, because I know how hard each of you work. And you'll earn the privilege of wearing it through your actions, your integrity, and your commitment to continuing to learn. The next 2 years, as you've heard from our great speakers today, are going to bring challenges, moments of difficulty, some long hours, and emotional demands. But it's also going to bring growth, fulfillment, and purpose, and you're all ready for that. Through it all, you will have the support of each other and your family and friends in the audience today, and all of us at the School of Medicine that are going to be cheering on to see your success, and the next time we'll be gathering, it'll to award your MD degree, and we can't wait for that. So congratulations, class of 2027. This concludes our white coat ceremony, and on behalf of the faculty, staff, and leadership, thank you so much for being a part of this meaningful milestone for our students. We're honored to have shared this moment with all of you. Please join us in a reception in the lobby and out on the outdoor patio following the ceremony. Class of 2027, please stand. I now invite anyone in the audience who would like to stand as well as our students begin their recessional. Please start our traditional recessional song, Viva Las Vegas.